Hello, friends, and welcome to Pathologic, Volume 1, Episode 23. I just finished doing some reviewing of proofs for some holiday hijinks games that are on their way to you, which is very exciting. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're going to solve some puzzles. Today, we are going to be looking at a moon or sun puzzle, which should be a lot more in my wheelhouse than yesterday's compass shenanigans that I'm not entirely sure I completely got my head around even after solving them. So this should be a bit of a relief for us. And I hope you will enjoy it too. In order to solve that, though, we need to take a look at the rules. Moon or Sun is a loop drawing puzzle in which we will draw a non-intersecting, non-branching loop through the centers of some cells, which enters and exits each region exactly once. The sum cells here is telling us this is not like a simple loop puzzle where we have to visit every cell in the grid. We're going to be skipping some, as you can see in the example, but we are going to make a full loop. It enters and exits each region exactly once. Regions are defined by the dark lines surrounding the cells in the grid. Within a region, the loop must pass through all moons and no suns, or all suns and no moons. So you can see an example of that in this first region in the top left, where the loop passes through all of the moons and avoids the 3 suns. Or this one does the opposite. The loop may not pass through the same type of clue in 2 consecutively used regions, which means that as soon as we exit this region that is where it is passing through moons and no suns, we enter a new region. We know this is going to be suns and no moons. Then we're back to moons and no suns, then suns and no moons, and so on around the entire grid, visiting every region exactly once. Those are the rules of Moon or Sun, so it's time to solve a puzzle. Today's Moon or Sun puzzle was set by Jovial. Okay, the first thing that I do when I see a Moon or Sun puzzle is I identify if there are any regions that have only one icon or the other. So we've got one region right here, one region right there, that we know are going to be moon regions. So once we get a loop entering or exiting one of these, we're going to know the disposition of the neighboring cell. Another thing we can do right off the bat is we can recognize that if the same symbol is on both sides of a dividing line, the loop can't cross over that division, because if it did, we would have 2 of the same symbol crossed into adjacent regions, into consecutive regions, and that's not allowed. So the loop will not cross through there and will not cross through there. So we can make those deductions right away. I see a place to start in the top left, though, because this sun in the corner has a problem. And that is that if the loop were in this cell and went any direction, it would hit a moon, and we would have a moon and a sun in the same region. So in fact, this is not a sun region. It is a moon region. Okay, so now, in order to hit these 2 moons, the loop has to enter and leave those cells, like so. This is now not a valid cell to even enter, so we need to go this way. If we were to continue east, we would enter this region, but this is a moon region, and we were in a moon region, so we can't go there next. We've got to go south, and this has got to be a sun region. Since it's a sun region, we've got to hit this cell, and we can't exit this region and re-enter it. We're only allowed to be in it once, so we've got to go directly there. The only way we can do that is this way, and then we've got to leave this way. And now we know we are in a moon region. And we're going to go down here to get to the moons. And we are either going to go up, over, down, or we're going to go right, up, left. So rather than puzzling out what to do there, let's see if we can make any progress up here at the top on the other end of the loop we started. We know that since we just exited a moon region, we are in a sun region. And again, we can't leave and re-enter, so we've got to trace a path to that sun. Now, I believe we have to go up and into that sun. Well, in fact, we could see that a different way, actually, even before we drew that loop. To get to this sun at all now, since this is not an enterable cell, we're going to have to go up and right. So now, when we extend this to the right, we will hit that cell. Okay, so now what? This can't go east because we'd have sun and sun. It's got to go south. It could go either east in here, making this a moon region, or south, making this a moon region. Both of those seem completely valid to me. How about this small region? We already knew it's a moon region, but now there are dead ends on two edges of this moon that we have to visit. So we can draw that. We've now made this a sun region. And this is a dead end on two end. Sorry, it's a corner now. So we can draw a line like that. This can't go east because then we would have to close this loop too early. So it's got to go south, which makes this a sun region. This sun is now in a corner. So we have to draw a line like that. We couldn't go north without, again, closing the loop too early. And we can't go south because we can't enter that cell. So we're going to go east. And now this end of the loop can't go west because that would be a dead end. It's got to go east. And we're making some progress. Okay. What can we do next? What do we know about the remaining 3 regions we haven't entered? We know, let's see, this part of the loop has been through a moon, sun, and this one has been through sun, moon, sun. So we've visited one more sun region than we have visited moon regions. So in the remaining, it's got to be the opposite. We've got to hit 2 moons and a sun. I think we could have guessed that since we got this one moon, but means we've got a moon and a sun in these 2 regions somehow. If this region at the top right were a sun region, that would mean that this cell is in a corner. We would have to draw this, and then this end would have to go down and hit a moon, which would not be allowed. So we don't visit this cell, which means we don't visit any suns in this region. And that will tell us what's going on here, because in order to hit this moon now, it can't go north. That would be a dead end. It's got to go like that. And now it's got to continue through this little alley. And that's great. So we've got our moon. We've got another moon here. That makes this a sun region. So let's make sure that we have hit both of the suns in one pass there. This end has got to go like this. Now this region can only be visited once, and if we were to connect, we couldn't ever possibly hit the other moons. So this has got to go up like so. Now this is in a little bit of a tunnel. It can go straight through and then up. If it went up again, we'd close too early, so it goes east, east, east. And we have completed a full loop, and you can see it goes moon, sun, moon, sun, moon, sun, moon, sun, moon, sun, and back to moon. So that looks like a valid answer, which we will check. And that is how you solve a moon or sun. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and check out the description below for more free puzzles.